Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. NK Chami here. So in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how we achieve this beautiful glam. This bridal glam is a very simple look, and we actually achieve this using just our powder set, especially the eyeshadow. Okay, now if you are a first timer, you're so very much welcome. This is actually a big family, and we're happy for you to be a member of this family. So please do clicking on the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also the notification icon. Click on to before we post a new video. So guys, we're going to learn how to work on our skin work first, as the face prepping has already been done behind camera. You can also check our description to see the link on how we prep our skin. Okay, I made a video of that separately before. So if you really want to know how we prep this our skin before start applying our foundation, you can actually go down to the description and get to see or watch the video and get to understand it better, because it's well explained on that particular video. So guys, in this particular makeover, we are going to be working on a light skinned person, as you can see. So preferably I tend to mix foundations to get a perfect shade, but right here, because this is actually is made for a class, so this what we do just to use a lighter shade on the inner part of the face and use a darker shade, not so really dark, but darker than the shade we use at the inner part of the face on the outer part of the face, as you can see in the video. So the shade you use at outer part is a little bit dark, just so it's easy for you to blend, so it will match the neck of the muse or of your client. Okay, so it preferably you can just go in with her perfect shade. Preferably go in with a perfect shade, although some foundation tend to become a little bit warmer when you after applying it. I mean, what it means is that it may be looking very light, but after applying, after application, it gets to be warmer, and get calmer. Okay, it gets calm on the face and it doesn't look um so serious or so bright or so light. Okay, now I'm going to work on the contoured part of the face. That's, I'm going to contour the face, and these are the region where you contour the face a little bit under the cheek, and then I'm going to do that of the forehead as well. Now this contouring part also will help to reduce the shade of the skin work we are working on right now, so it won't make her look so bright. So just in case you end up using a lighter shade product for your client, contouring will do the job for you. Okay, you can just go ahead to contour the face, and it will help to reduce the foundation you use, the foundation shade you used. Okay, same vice versa. If you use a very dark shade, you can work on your highlight. Highlight will help you to increase the shade. So for highlighting, I'm going to work on this part of the face, the under eyes, the forehead, the T zone, the nose bridge, and the jaw. These are part that we're going to work on for our highlighted region. I'm using Pro Concealer from I think this is actually Adventure Cosmetics concealer. Okay, I'm using a darker shade at the upper part of the face, and then went in to use a lighter shade at the inner part, as you can see on the video. So preferably you blend the outer shade first before blending the inner shade, because you don't want to have so much product on your beauty blender. So you blend the outer shade, use actually the darker shade first before going to blend the lighter shade that's inside. Okay, so please take notes, your blending should be proper, because we don't want demarcations. Now I'm going to be using my Blossom Cosmetics lipstick palette, and I'm mixing this very light shade, um, pink, baby pink, and a very light orange, because I don't want it to be so serious, because actually it's a bridal glam. So you don't I'm not using a very light blush. Okay, creamy blush. I want it just to be calm. Like I always say, blush gives a little bit of warmth, so warm to your makeover or to your look that you're trying to achieve. So just see the way it's actually bringing that, making the face a little bit calm and cool. Okay, so you can use any blush of your choice. If you are the type that love orange, that loves red, just work with it. But make it to be a bit calm or a little bit mild, because obviously you're working on a bridal glam and not any just kind of makeover. Okay, we're going over again to use the shade we used to contour the face, to contour the nose, because obviously you want the nose to be pointed, and that's one of the aim of makeup, of you being a makeup artist, because you want to like define the faces, the part of the face that need to be defined, you define it, right? So You just want to do that to define the face. Now for the highlighted region using the powder, the same a powder palette, you go in for a shade lighter or two shade lighter for the highlighted part of the face, and then you go in with her normal powder for the other part of the face. As you can see, I'm using a shade lighter currently for the place that was highlighted. I'm going to use white for the inner part of the face. Now, when I say white, I don't mean that you must just pack white and use to highlight the inner part of the face. Please, if you have a lighter shade powder, you can still use that on the inner part of the face. Okay, I'm just going in for with white because I can easily blend it out. So if you have a lighter shade powder, you can use that. Lighter, I don't mean white, something that's in between white and the previous shade you used. Okay, so you can go ahead to blend the skin work you've done, the other part of it that was not highlighted, as the body of the makeover. You can blend those parts out, blend on your blush region, blend at the neck, then back of the ear, just to ensure that there's an even tone, no, without any demarcations. Please take note, you would want to have demarcations because it won't be nice when they are seeing demarcations, so you have to blend up to that part of the face. If you're done blending, please go over to work on your nose contour. Okay, I'm going to use a dark shade, some it looks like a shade darker than her actual shade, to contour the nose. Okay, if you are done contouring your nose, can then go ahead to blend out the powder. Mind you, the powder we are blending out is actually the powder we use on our highlighted region, because remember we've not actually baked the face using our setting powder. So we're going to blend the skin work properly, ensure that all the powder, we're not having so much fallout. Okay, if you know that the skin work is perfect, you can then go ahead to use your setting powder to set and to bake. Okay, I'm using Adventure Cosmetic setting powder for our setting. So I'll just set the part of the face that was highlighted, and also under the cheek also, just to give that part a little bit of a lift. Okay, so if you're not setting your face, please, I am leaving mine to bake. Baking means when you allow it to sit for some time, allow the powder to fully absorb into the products. Okay, so that's when you talk about baking. If you don't want to bake, you just want to set and go, you can just, after setting, you use your brush to blend it out. But I'm just going to allow the face to set while I work on the brows. Now we're going to learn how to achieve a 3D brows. Yes, I use these brow techniques mostly when I'm working on a bride, as this is actually a bridal class, right? So this is actually my own advanced bridal class brow techniques. Okay, now I'm going to be using Davis Eye Pen C shade 3. I love the effect it gives. It's actually darker than shade 18, but I love the way it comes out, effect, or the way the shade is. Okay, so I basically use shade 3 whenever I'm working on such brow. Okay, so you're going to start first by to give the brow a perfect shade, so a perfect shape here. So carefully go through your brows, define the edge of the brows, the down and the up, then go ahead to give your brow hair like stroke. Now your pencil should always be pointy if you want to get this brow right. Don't remember my muso, she's always sleeping. Like she's sleeping currently as I'm working on her, she was sleeping and nodding. So if you're working on these brow techniques, please ensure that your pencil is always sharp. If you notice that I'm always going on and forth to change my pencil because my student was actually sharpening it for me behind the camera. So you will have a hair like stroke. If the pencil is blunt, you'll be having sharp lines, and you really don't want to have sharp lines. So you must be very pointy, okay, for you to have tiny and clean line. If it's blunt, to give you big lines, not sharp lines. Sorry, I made a mistake before. To give you big lines, and you don't want to have big lines because hair. Normally, if you're getting hair like stroke, it has to be very tiny, right? Not very big. So this kind of techniques also eats your pencil, because you have to keep sharpening your pencil over and over. At the end of the day, notice that one pencil that a new pencil you came out with is like halfway gone, or even more than halfway gone. Okay, So you keep going in to sharpen your pencil to have a very neat line. Another thing you should know is that this technique is meant for those that are already good in with their brows, because you hardly conceal, so your shape of your brows must be very neat even without concealing it. Okay, now go ahead to conceal your brows. You conceal only the down part of the brows, not the upper part of the brows. You can only do that if you make a tiny mistake, just to correct the mistake. Okay, now the same I'm using this shade 3 from Adventure Cosmetics concealer, pro concealer, shade 3. Yeah, so using that shade to conceal the under part of the brows, and then I'll go ahead to use her foundation to conceal the origin of the brows. Okay, please take note, blend your concealing properly, ensure that you don't have double lines, ensure that the lines are very very clean and neat. Okay, so if you're done with that, you can go ahead to use her foundation to conceal the origin, as you can see me do right here on this video. So carefully conceal the origin and blend that out. You can use your beauty blender to blend that out. So, or you can use your blending brush, either one you have. Most times I use the beauty blender, most times I use my blending brush. Okay. When you're done with that, you're going to start focusing on the eyeshadow. You work on your eyeshadow primer first. Apply your eyeshadow primer on the eyes just to be easy for you to work on. So remember I said before that we're going to be learning how to do a bridal look with just your powder without using normal eyeshadow. So this is what we're working on right now. So I'm using a dark shade powder, like a very dark shade powder on my crease line and my transition space. Okay, so I'm focusing those powder on just the beginning of my wing line, and then I'm going to carefully blend it to my origin of the brows. Please take note, try not to leave harsh lines. So carefully blend demarcations, so you'll be having a very very lovely eyeshadow. Okay, remember we're working with powder and not eyeshadow, so you can try your best to give it a proper blending. Okay, I'm doing the same thing for the other part of the eyes, so let's just carefully blend that out. So I'll be posting next on our video how to switch Glam. So if you really want to know how to switch Glam, please stay tuned to our page as you see how to switch Bridal Glams. I mostly use these techniques when I'm working on a bride. Like, I find it a little bit easier, faster for me to blend. I know eyeshadow gives almost the same effect, but yeah, I just kind of love to use powder most times to get a very very mild and nude combination. So if you feel like this technique is actually lovely, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Okay, now for the brow bone, I'm still using the same shade I used on my base to work on the brow bone. Okay, if you have a shade lighter, you can still apply it. It will still be very very lovely. So I'm doing it on both sides of the eyes. The same shade powder we use for our highlights, or that we use for the base of our eyeshadow. I'm applying it on the brow bone. Okay, now carefully blend demarcations, as it's very very important. We should not be seeing demarcations, so carefully blend your demarcations, and that is. So I'm using the same brown shade for the under eyeshadow, so use that as my under eyeshadow. Blend it properly, and if you're done with that, you're going to dust out fallout, because you're working with powder. Don't forget, dust out fallouts from the eyes, then dust out the setting powder that we allowed to bake. Okay, carefully dust that out, and just try not to push your brush too much into the skin. Okay, now if you are done with that, I'm going to use Carite gel liner for my eyelining. Okay, I really wanted to have that lovely cat eyes, and so I'm trying to give it that sharp lining. Okay, so carefully work on the edge of your tear line carefully, so that you have that very lovely sharp um line. Okay, so if you are done with that, you can go ahead to do your under eyeliner and then do the upper eyeliner also. So since you are done with that part, you're going to fix the lashes. Yes, I'm actually someone that loves to fix my lashes using my bare hands. Okay, I know most people love using the applicator, but I'm not going to use that. I prefer using my hands to fix the lashes. I love to use because I feel it's more easy for me and it's faster for me. Okay, most times for paparazzi's sake, we just go ahead and use the applicator to do that, but I find it easier to use my hands. Okay, so that's how what I'm going to use for this video, as you've seen. Then for my up eyelining, I love to use pencil liner. This is actually from Huda Beauty, so I'm using Huda Beauty pencil liner just to work on the up eyeliner. I feel like it's easier for me, it's faster, and it's not as kind of crazy like the gel liner will be. So I love using that. So for our lip application or lip combination, the first thing I'm going to do is to perfectly moisten the lips. Just I'm using lip gloss, classic lip gloss, yeah. So like moisten the lip a little bit before going to use my lipstick palette from Blossom Cosmetics to define. I think this is a brown shade, yeah, a dark brown shade from the my palette to define the edge of the lips. Okay, so carefully define the edge of the lips. I'm actually doing an ombre lips right here. I kind of love to work or to do ombre lips. Like I don't know, it gives me this very very lovely effect. Like needs it to be a little bit fuller and kind of cool. So I love to work with ombre lip mostly. So I'm using ombre lip for this particular combination. So carefully define the edge of the lips using that dark brown shade. It must not really be brown, but usually it depends on since you're working on a bridal look, you can use a lighter brown shade, any shade of your choice. But since it's a bridal look, you have to go in with a calm color and a nude color. Okay, so I'm using brown to define, and then go in to use this baby pink and nude, just mixing these two shade at the inner part, just so I can have this very calm and kind of still poppy but calm lip combination. Okay, mind you, we are our aim here is to get a bridal look, so we don't want it to be too serious and we don't want it to be too, just there. Okay, so it has to be poppy, it has to be outstanding. So blend your combination properly. Yeah, as you can see me trying to do, blend your nude shade into your brown that you use to outline the lips. Now if you're done with your blending, you can as well go ahead to use the same shade you use for our blush during our liquid stage to tap or to more or less work to touch on our blush again, just to make sure that the blush came out well. Go ahead to work on your highlighted region in case of fallout, just like final touching. Okay, I'm using the powder shade I used, the white powder shade I used before, just to brighten the highlighted region, because what is highlight if it's not highlighting? Okay, so my highlight was highlights. So I'm going to use that white shade over again. Please don't just go and pack white and put on your muse face or your bride's face. If you know you cannot blend it out very well, please leave your powder the way it is. But I just want the highlight to be highlighted, like more visible. So I'm just going to add that white shade and then properly blend it out. All right, for my bronzer, I'm using Huda Beauty bronze palette. Yeah, so for my bronzer, I'm using the gold shade. So I'm just going to use that bronzer to bronze the face. I don't really want it to be too serious. Just a little bit of bronzing would do for me, okay? Because I really want it to be calm. Yeah, the aim of this is just for me to have a lovely bridal glam, not so serious, okay? So I'm doing that at the nose bridge as well, the tip, and then at the depth of the nose bridge, then properly blending that out. If I'm done with that, I can go ahead to work on my mascara. I can do that before bronzing or after bronzing. Either way would work, but just ensure that you don't forget to work on your mascara, because your under eyelid is actually not very neat. Okay. So first thing I did is to use my fix spray. This actually Kiss Beauty fix spray. Spray it on the face, then I damp it. Just ensure that it sits very well. I go in next to use my FBH sweat lock here on the face, allow it to sit for some time, then go ahead to use my soap to lock in, spray it on the face just so it will lock the makeup and not allow it to transfer. Okay, if I'm done with this, then we are fully ready for our bride. Okay, now look at the look we created. Now just tell me, isn't this just giving? Well, for me it's giving. It's just so calm, just so simple, but yet perfect. I love this look so much. So if you are with us in the moment, please give us a thumbs up, like our video, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.